Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel that is Science Unlocked, and in today's session we will going to continue with the topic of soil and rock, and we will be looking into the concept of rocks and minerals. So we already know this particular concept that soil is being formed from rocks. That means the reversible process is equally possible over here, that the rocks are going to be something which is going to be made up of particles of soil. So over here we will see that tiny particles of the soil are going to ultimately make the rocks, and the mineral is basically the smallest grain which is present in the rock, or we can say the particle of the soil, which will eventually going to provide a specific kind of property to the different kinds of rocks. So we can simply say that soil is coming from rocks, and rocks are being formed from soil and minerals inside it. So we can clearly say that thing, that in case of rocks and minerals are the building blocks of rocks, means they will be present as a building material or the forming material inside the rock. Now we already know this thing, that rocks are of different colors and sizes, textures, depending on that what mineral they have. But apart from this particular phenomena, we have a categorization of rocks that is based on that how the rock is being formed. So on the basis of their formation, rocks are further divided into three categories, that is igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rocks. So we will look into all these three categories in detail. So over here the first category that we're going to look into is the igneous rocks. Now the term igneous is coming from the terminology ignis, which means fire. That means over here fire will be the common component in all the kinds of igneous rocks. But what exactly is the form that we will observe here? That is the molten form of lava or magma. That means we can simply say that igneous rocks are something which is made up of magma or lava. Now we already know this particular component from our previous sessions, that magma and lava are the name of same thing. The only difference is their location or position with reference to the volcano. So magma is something which is inside the volcano, and lava is something which is on the surface of earth after the eruption from the volcano. Similarly, over here it will going to be the formation from magma and lava. The only difference will be that if it is magma, it will be something which will going to be cooled down and hardened down because of the temperature and pressure differences inside the earth's surface, whereas if it is going to be lava, it will be done on the surface. So that is what exactly is the major difference between the reference, that whether it is coming from magma or lava. So if it is coming from magma, it will going to take place inside the earth's surface, or indirectly we can say inside the volcano, whereas if it is in the form of lava, then it will be on the surface. But the common concept will be that the hot molten form of material which is there inside the volcano, that is the molten rock, that will solidify because of the cooling process. And while this particular cooling process, the texture and property of the particular rock are going to be determined, and as per that particular property we will have different kinds of igneous rocks. So over here we will going to look into three major categories of igneous rocks. That is, first is basalt, which is being formed because of the lava cooling process. So now you can like in this particular component you can relate that it will going to take place on the earth's surface, because we are talking about the concept of lava and not magma. So basalt is the rock which will be formed because of the cooling of lava on the earth's surface, and we have different kinds of colors available over here, but the major color that we will observe here will be dark colors, and it will going to have sharp edges. So we have to handle the particular rock very carefully. Most of the time this particular rock will be observed with an application in road formation. The next that we have is granite, which is again an igneous rock, but over here it will going to be cooling down of magma, so it will going to take place below the earth's surface. Then if we talk about the colors, we have variety of colors with reference to granite, and the major application of this kind of rock is in formation of gravestones, buildings, flooring, statue. Like there can be ample amount of uses that we can take out of this particular kind of rock. Next we have is pumic or pumice igneous rock. This particular rock is formed because of the cooling of frothy lava, and this process will going to take place at a faster rate. Means over here the cooling process will not be done gradually, it will be faster as compared to normal cooling process. Now another aspect is that it is talking about frothy lava. Now this is the lava which is going to be heated up at a very high rate, because of which it will going to start forming bubbles inside it, just like the froth that we get because of the mixing of detergent and water. So when we are going to add these two things, we will going to mix it up properly. Because of that reason, bubbles will be created over here. Similarly, in this case, the magma or the lava, as over here it is talking about lava, so we will going to specifically take this term lava over here, that it is heated up at a high temperature, at such a high temperature that it will going to start making bubbles in it. And when this particular kind of lava will going to cool down at a faster rate, then it will form pumic or pumice stone. Now again over here also we have variety of colors and shades, but gray and black is the prominent color that we will going to observe, and most of the time this will going to be used for the cosmetic use, where we are going to do the cleaning of body in terms of removal of dead skin. And this particular stone is widely observed in case of the household use as well. Like most of you must be having a stone in your bathrooms as well. Anyways, the next thing is the sedimentary rocks, and as the name is suggesting, sediments, so it will going to be the kind of rock which will be formed because of the deposition of sediments, or we can say small particles of different kind of material and different kinds of soils that are available in the nature, and these sediments will be deposited under high temperature and pressure, eventually giving these small particles this much of force that it will come together and will going to get compressed to form a single rock. So that is what the phenomena of sedimentary rocks is, that there will be deposition of multiple layers of different kinds of sediments, which either be present in nature on its own or can be brought by some sort of withering agent that we have talked about in the previous section, and erosive agent. Then there will be a continuous temperature and pressure being applied on these different layers, eventually bringing the particles closer enough to make it in the form of a rock. Now, this kind of deposition is most of the time observed in the type of organisms which are aquatic organisms, and which are, to be more specific, shelled organisms. So in their shells we have these particular depositions over there. Now in total we are going to complete 4 types of sedimentary rocks, out of which the first one is the sandstone, which is being formed because of the compression of small particles, means coming together of small particles of sand. We have different kinds of colors, and the minerals that we are going to observe in sedimentary rock is quartz. Now you have to take care of this thing, that while learning about sedimentary rocks, this is something we need to directly learn, and we have to be sure about that we know which kind of mineral is present in sandstone. Now the usage is most of the time building formation, and Red Fort in Delhi is the best example for this kind of formation. Next we have is conglomerate. This kind of rock is most of the times observed nearby a beach or an ocean, and it is used as a decorative stone as well. And this is going to have small pebbles which will be cemented together because of some fine particle of sand and cementing material. Then when we talk about its color, we have a variety of color, and the mineral that we have is quartz and feldspar. So we need to keep in mind about the minerals. The next two category of rocks that we have is shale, which is going to be formed because of the hardening of clay, because of which it will going to have smooth surfaces. And when we talk about its mineral, it is illite, collinite and smectite, which is most of the time observed in gray and black color, because of which it is most of the time used in the formation of any kind of structure which is going to require tiles and bricks. The fourth category of sedimentary rock that we are going to look into is the limestone, which is going to be the major deposition of the shelled organisms and skeletons of the different kinds of organisms which are going to be observed in the seabed. And the major mineral that we will going to find in the commonality amongst all these particular kind of limestone deposition will be calcite and aragonite. So the best example for this is that we are going to use chalks and glasses that are made up of sedimentary rocks. So this was all about the two categories of rocks that we have learned till now. Now we will move to the next category of rocks in the next session. Till then, take care everyone and keep learning.